sunrise, here the day comes to another song for when tears fall down. There's nothing puts a mind at ease unless there's something within, wonder whether you found peace. In the sunrise, here the day comes.
Believe the truth will surface. So many people have prayed for justice. Look at the time that's passed. Where in the hell are the facts? Giving the guilty a pass. Look at the face of an angel. Look at the people that Tabitha touched. Bringing my city together with love. Through the pain, see your name, sing your song. Tabby's right here, never gone. People angry, secrets in the dark. Standing in this empty park. Tears are falling over broken hearts. Hope this song will keep a family strong.
Your lives have changed since the day that she went away. I pray your family will find peace in some way. I know it's hard to cope. Hope feels like a broken road. Through the darkest days, you're not alone. That's why you're hearing Tabi's song. So just
say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes, say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes.
how do we continue living without those we love? When in times of need, sometimes we just need a hug. Wish I had the words to say to make you feel more happy. Cause now that your world is different, there'll be no one like Tabi. That's how we feel. Now everybody's
Singing Tabi's song, light your candle, see her smile. You were not alone, you were not alone. Know your heart is aching and that time don't really heal. But your faith in God has kept you safe and always will. Something about this empty park just don't feel the same. When it's pouring, you might see an angel when it rains. Something about this empty park just don't feel the same. When it's pouring, you might see an angel when it rains.
With you, oh how we miss you. It's so much harder these days than it was with you. Blow you a kiss too. Say see you later, never goodbye. Cause when the tears start flowing, Tabi's by your side.
Say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes, say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes, just sing her song. Just sing her song. Just sing her song. Even when the tears start falling, just sing her song. Even when the tears start falling, even when the tears start falling, just sing her. Say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes, say her name, sing her song. Even when the tears begin to fall, Tabi's with you, never gone. Keep on praying, God won't let who did this off. Justice ain't that far away, but until that day comes.
Hi everyone, I'm back. I tried to pre-record this once and the sound didn't go right, so we're doing round 2. I will try to get this out to you tonight and move on to chapter 6 as it is long. Once again, I want to thank LOS 105. These gentlemen are personal friends of Tabi's. They knew her, and they are the ones that created that song for her. Once again, thank you to Indie Archive for creating that video. And we're going to continue reading what happened to Tabi. So I want to give Josh Sigler a big shout out and thank you for allowing me to read this online so that everybody can hear it. So I'm going to turn my camera off and you guys can listen to chapter 5. It'll probably take about 20 minutes. And then I will try to record chapter 6. I may have to do that in 2 parts, but that'll be coming in the next day or so. All right, here we go. Let me just change. There we go. So, chapter 5. Pressing the major players. On August 14, 2003, Stout and Frawley conducted a sworn statement. From Kyle Neff at the Tipton Police Department, with Kyle's attorney, Stefani Durham, present, as part of Kyle's plea deal. Durham signed the waiver of rights form indicating that Kyle knew his rights regarding the statement. Kyle walked Detective Stout and Frawley through the day of October 2nd, 2002, detailing the actions in the hours leading up to Tabi's murder. Kyle explained that he worked at his mother's restaurant, Cheryl's, until 2:30 or 3 p.m. that day. After that, he assisted Bill Sherwood in replacing some parking curbs at the restaurant. Neff then said he then rode his motorcycle to Dan Kokendorfer's residence at around 3:30 or 4 p.m., where the two of them smoked a joint together. Kokendorfer's live-in girlfriend, who was only referred to as Jennifer in the statement, then arrived at the residence, and Kyle left a short time after that, leaving his motorcycle helmet behind. Kyle returned to the residence a short time later to retrieve his helmet and then drove to Mandy Amon's house prior to going to Tabi's apartment somewhere around 5:30 or 5:45 p.m. Kyle explained that only Tabi and Drake were present in the apartment when he arrived. Upon his arrival, Tabi asked Kyle to find Balser because she wanted to party with her. Kyle explained to Tabi that Amanda's grandmother was in the hospital in Kokomo, but he claimed that there was no conversation about Tabi going to the hospital with the family. Kyle was at Tabi's apartment for approximately 10 minutes before calling Adam Johnson to set up a meeting for Kyle to buy some cocaine from Johnson. Kyle met Johnson at Bargain Bob's shoe store on State Road 19 in Atlanta, just south of Tipton, where Kyle bought a half a gram of cocaine for $50. After the drug deal, at approximately 6:45 p.m., Kyle then stated he drove through the back roads of Tipton County, ingesting the cocaine until around 8:15 p.m. When he returned to Tipton and noticed Balser standing near the intersection of Jefferson and Main Streets in the heart of downtown. Kyle claimed to have spoken to Balser in front of the Tipton Municipal Utilities office and noted that she had been driving her late model, orangish color, rusted out vehicle that he knew to have belonged to Balser. Kyle struck up a conversation with Balser, letting her know that Tabi was looking for her in hopes of partying. Balser then asked Neff if he could lure Tabi to the city park so that Balser could kick her ass. Balser told Kyle that Tabi had stolen approximately $1,000 of cocaine from her and she wanted it back. Kyle admitted that he lied to County Deputy Jeff Pike on October 3rd, 2002 about not knowing Balser and said he had known her for about 2 years, having partied with her in the past. At around 9 p.m. on October 2nd, Kyle then noticed that Tabby was standing alone out in front of the village pantry in downtown Tipton, located in between the police department headquarters and the post office. He told Tabby that Balser wanted to meet her in the park to party in about a half an hour. Tabby asked Kyle for a ride to the park, but Kyle declined, telling Tabby that he needed to find Balser to bring her up to speed on what was happening. Kyle then located Balser at about 9:45 p.m. at the intersection of Main and Madison Streets, just south of the courthouse square. Balser asked Neff to follow her up to the Tipton High School parking lot, located just across the street from the park, and indicated that she wanted him to watch her back while she kicked Tabitha's ass. Balser promised Kyle cocaine in exchange for his help. Kyle parked his motorcycle east of the high school tennis courts, just off Park Road, and they got into Balser's vehicle. Balser was wearing a white short sleeve t-shirt with writing of some type on it. The two rolled a joint. Then Balser made the short drive over to the park, just a few hundred yards from where Kyle parked the motorcycle, where she parked near the shuffleboard courts in the southwest corner of the park. Kyle indicated that as he exited Balser's car, he noticed that Tabby was inside the park pavilion just a short distance away. Kyle and Balser walked down the slope of the creek bank behind the shuffleboard courts down to a concrete slab where they smoked the joint that they had just rolled minutes earlier. At that point, Balser notified Kyle that they would be joined by Jonathan Yates, who would assist Kyle in watching Balser's back. Kyle and Balser walked near the creek bank as it winds to the east along the north edge of the park, all the way to the footbridge on the northeast side of the park, near the horseshoe pits. At that time, Balser yelled for Yates, who then appeared from the underside of the footbridge. The three then discussed how they would lure Tabitha over to them from the pavilion, and Yates then reminded Balser that she had promised him cocaine in exchange for his assistance. Kyle went on to say that the trio then walked south toward the road that circles the park, where Balser yelled for Tabby to come join them. As Tabby approached, Kyle said he noticed a male subject walking with her. Kyle claimed that at the time he did not know the subject, but was now aware that the individual was Andrew Bush. Frawley told Kyle that Bush had informed the authorities that Kyle had purchased pills from Bush at some point in the past, and Kyle indicated that he might have, but that he didn't recall that exchange because he had bought pills from so many different people over the years. Tabby and Bush continued walking toward the footbridge, and once they arrived, Balser confronted Tabby about stealing the cocaine in question. Tabby replied that she did not know what Balser was talking about. Unlike in Bush's story, Kyle claimed that Balser struck Tabby in the face with her fist more than once. Tabby fell to her knees, and Bush tried to come to her aid, but Kyle and Yates pulled him back. Kyle stated that Bush gave little resistance and added that he smelled like alcohol and displayed unsteady balance. Balser then turned toward Bush, pointed a gun at him, and warned him to back off. Kyle then lied to Frawley and Stout, saying that the gun was silver-colored revolver and that he had no knowledge of Balser having the weapon until she brandished it in Bush's direction. Kyle stated that Balser then turned back toward Tabby, firing a shot that struck Tabby square in the forehead. He claimed that Balser then fired the gun a couple more times, but that he did not know whether any of the other rounds that were fired struck Tabby or not. Kyle and Yates were standing roughly 5 feet from Tabby when the shooting took place, with Bush standing just in front of them. Kyle could not tell if Bush had got blood splatter on him and indicated that he could not remember if any blood got on his own clothes. He could not remember the type of clothes Yates was wearing that night. Kyle stated that Bush then ran across the footbridge and Balser chased after him, tucking the gun inside her jeans. She yelled for Kyle and Yates to go after Bush, but Kyle told her that Bush was too messed up to remember anything and she should just let him go. Balser then returned to Kyle and Yates, telling them to help her move Tabi's body. Kyle and Yates originally refused to help, but Balser then pulled the gun up from her jeans and asked them if they wanted to end up like Tabitha. After the direct threat, Kyle and Yates each grabbed one of Tabitha's legs, while Balser carried the torso portion of the body. They carried Tabi to the creek bank behind the baseball diamond in the far southwest corner of the park. Kyle said they stopped twice while carrying Tabi to get a better grip on her body and taking a break to smoke a cigarette before carrying on. Once they reached the desired destination, Kyle stated that they placed the body on the ground, and at that point, Balser then began rifling through Tabi's purse, searching for the missing cocaine. After not finding anything in the purse, Balser then removed Tabi's belt and pants. Kyle asked, "Why?" And Balser replied, "To keep from getting caught." Kyle asked no more questions, and he had no answer for why Balser left Tabi's sweatshirt on her body. At that point, Yates walked away, so Kyle and Balser carried the body down into the creek and placed it in the water. Kyle indicated that Yates' only involvement was to restrain Bush and then to help carry the body from the area of the murder to the creek bank. Kyle said he thought the shooting took place at around 10:30 p.m. or shortly after that. Kyle and Balser then walked back to Balser's vehicle, where she was carrying Tabi's purse, belt, and pants. Balser drove Kyle back to his motorcycle, and from there, Kyle rode to his mother's house on Conde Street. Kyle took Tabi's belongings with him after Balser asked him to burn them in his fireplace. Kyle then called Amanda from his mother's residence and then rode home to his house at the intersection of US 31 and State Road 28. Kyle said he placed his clothes as well as Tabi's belongings in a plastic tote bin and hid them in a storage shed located directly behind Cheryl's, which was adjacent to his home. Kyle told authorities that Balser threatened him and his family if he were to ever tell anyone about the murder. He added that he was not aware that Balser was going to shoot Tabi. Kyle talked to Balser only one more time after the shooting. The exchange occurred about a month later in the Carter's Mall parking lot in Tipton, where Balser again told him to keep his mouth shut, and if he could do that, they wouldn't get caught. When asked why he waited a year to come forward, Kyle said that Buffy needed to know the truth and that he wanted to get home to his children. Debbie Neff shortly thereafter came to the Tipton Police Department to consent to a search of her properties, as the authorities sought to find the clothing and belongings that Kyle claimed he had hidden in the shed. Debbie indicated that she had cleaned out the shed in early June of 2003 and added that several containers were thrown away without anyone looking to see what was inside of them. Officers searched the shed as well as Kyle's residence and Debbie's 402 South Conde Street property, but were not able to find any of the items Kyle described in his statements. On August 27, 2003, Kyle came clean with additional information. He told Frawley and Stout that Balser said in exchange for an 8-ball of cocaine, Kyle was to lure Tabi to the park, as well as supply a weapon for Balser to threaten Tabi with. Kyle went to Debbie's Conde Street house knowing that his mother kept a smallish chrome handgun in her bedroom closet. Kyle stated that his mother was not at the residence when he took the gun. He then met Balser in the high school parking lot, where he handed over the gun to her. The alleged murder weapon was now in Debbie's possession in her Noblesville residence, which she shared with F. Wesley Pike, a renowned dental surgeon and military veteran who retired from practicing oral surgery in 2015 after a nearly 50-year career. Indiana State Police Sergeant Tim Miller followed Debbie to the Noblesville residence in the 2500 block of Hawthorne Place, and when they arrived, Pike already had the weapon out on the front porch of the residence. Debbie then completed a property record and receipt and handed the gun over to Miller, who then turned it over to Tipton Police Department. The State Police Crime Lab concluded that the gun that Neffs turned over to police, a Taurus .38 caliber revolver, was in fact the gun that fired the bullet that struck Tabi in the head. It was the gun that Pat Comer had reported to police that he had sold Debbie years prior. That is the end of chapter 5. So let's see here. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 5. I'm going to start recording chapter 6 right away. And get that out to you within the next 24 to 48 hours. Also, I'm going to be doing a video. Tabitha's Discord is ready, and I'm going to be showing you how to get in there and what you can look at. I don't have everything in there at the moment, but I will continue adding additional information, including the documents, as soon as I can get them redacted. There are a lot of them, so it is going to take some time, but you will be able to read them for yourselves. Also, in addition to the video with the Discord information, I will have information on merchandise for Tabitha. Please remember that when purchasing merchandise for Tabitha, $5 of that price comes to Beyond the Evidence. $5 of that price also goes to Mark for the attorney fund. We're trying to raise money to get an attorney involved so that we can see where to go from here with this case and what our options are. If you would like to donate, instead of purchasing an item, you can do so. Let me see here. I think I have it in a banner. Yes, so it's here at the bottom. So you can do super chats, super stickers, thanks on the video, PayPal at Jennifer Marvin, Cash App at JenMarvin88, and Venmo at Marvin-Jennifer. The links are also in the description for this video. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.